Today we will see what are arrays. We'll use two types of arrays, one-dimensional and two-dimensional arrays as examples to understand what arrays are in general. So first, what are one-dimensional array? A one-dimensional array is used to represent data that can be represented in the form of a row. So imagine, say you have recently written your S1 examinations. So imagine that the marks that you have got are 100, 90, 95, 92 and 94. So this data is something which you can represent in the form of a row. Okay, so in the present way that we already know, if we have to store these 5 values to variables, we will declare we'll have 5 different variables, say like int subject 1 marks equal to 100, int subject 2 marks equal to 90, int subject 3 marks equal to 95, int subject 4 marks equal to 92, and int subject 5 marks equal to 94. Okay, so but when it comes to one dimensional array, say this is the way that we can represent the data in if we are using one dimensional array. So here we had 5 variables, but if we are using a one dimensional array, this is a way of representing it. Int marks of 5 is equal to 100, 90, 95, 92 and 94. So instead of these 5 variables, we now have just one array variable. Okay, and the name of the variable is marks, and here we have a square brackets, and inside that we have written 5. So that represents that this particular array can store 5 values. Okay, and what is the data type? Similar to the ones we had in all the 5 cases earlier, the data type here is int. Okay, so here we had 5 variables, so it was easy for us. Say if we wanted to find what is the value of the third subject's marks, we will use the variable subject 3 marks. Okay, so when we say subject 3 marks, we'll get the value of 95. But here we have only one variable name. So how do we actually access each of these values from this one particular variable? So here marks of 0, if you write 0 within the square bracket, we get the value 100. With 1, 90, 2, 95, 3, 92 and 4, we get 94. So what does that show? In arrays, the first variable is represented using an index called 0. So this is 0 position, this is the first position, second, third and fourth. So to access a particular value or the value stored in a particular position in an array, we use index values, and index values they do not start from 1, they start from 0. So marks of 0 is 0, or marks of 0 is 100, 1 is 90, 2 is 95, 3 is 92 and 4 is 94. Okay, so if you see, if you try to generalize this, so the first one that we have here, int is the data type. So first we say what is the data type, and then we tell what is the array name. So here we have given the array a name called marks, and then we say the array size. So here we need to store 5 values, so we have given the array size as 5, and then what are the values? Value 1, 2, 3 up to n. So here the values are 100, 90, 95, 92 and 94. Okay, so now we'll see what is a two-dimensional array. When do we use a two-dimensional array? We use a two-dimensional array when we have data that can be represented in the form of a table. So here, so now these are your marks 100, 90, 95, 92 and 94. So imagine that you are also going to store, or you're going to manipulate, or you're going to store the values of not just your marks alone, but you have the marks of 5 of your friends. Okay, so if you consider you as the student 1, so we have 5 marks of student 1. From student 2 we have again another 5 marks, 98, 89, 78, 99, 97. It is from student 2. So for student 3 we have another 5 marks, student 4, student 5 and student 6. Okay, so we have 6 students marks, and for each student there are 5 subjects. Okay, so we have 30 marks in total. So if we are using the usual way of doing things without array, so then for each student we'll have 5 variables. For student 1 we'll have subject 1 marks, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, subject 5. And for student 2 again we'll have another 5 variables. And for say any other students, so student 5 again we'll have another 5 variables. So here, as we are having 6 students, we will need 30 variables to store all those values. So if we are using a 2-dimensional array, so the entire we can actually reduce the number of variables. So instead of 30 variables, we now just need one variable. And you can see here the values 100, 90, 95, 90. So it's written here. These are the first student's marks, and these are the second student's mark, third student, fourth student, fifth and sixth student's marks. So everything is given in a single line. And we have here 2 square brackets. Earlier in 1-dimensional array we had this 1 square bracket which represented the number of subjects, but here we are having 2 square brackets. Okay, so the first one actually represents the number of students, or if we generalize, it's the number of rows that we have. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we are having 6 rows, and the second one represents the number of columns. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns that we have here. So while we are declaring a 2-dimensional array, first in the square brackets we write the number of rows that we want to represent, and in the second one we write the number of columns that we like to represent. And after that we write in the numbers. We use curly brackets, and then within curly brackets we have another set of curly brackets to represent each particular row. So we also have another form of writing it. Without these curly brackets, we can start writing from left to right. So the first 5 variables belongs to the first row, and after that without curly brackets, you can see that even though we do not have curly brackets in the second one, we still are maintaining the same order of variables, or the values. The order in which these values are written are the same. Okay, but the first one is a bit easier for us to understand. If we have made any mistakes, it would be easier if you follow the first method. But for the computer, for the compiler, both of these are the same. So again we'll see here we had 30 variables in the normal way to represent these 30 values, but here we just have one particular variable name. So how do we access these 30 values using a single variable name? Okay, we'll just look at some of the examples. So marks 0 of 0. So here again the first one is the first one is a row number, and the second one is the column number. So the first row is actually named 0. So this is the first row, 100, 90, 95, 92 and 94, and 0 represents this particular column. Okay, so what is marks 0 of 0? It is this particular value 100. Okay, so what is marks 1 of 1? So here the row number is 1 and the column number is also 1. So which is row number 1? Row number 1 is 0, 1. This is row number 1. Okay, and which is column number 1? It is 0, 1. This is column number 1. So which is that element that belongs to first row and first column? So here is the index in the intersection, 89 is the value. So the next one is marks 2 of 4. So which is the second row, 190. This is the second row. And which is the fourth column? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the fourth column, and this is the second row. So at the intersection we have this particular value called 88. And the next example, marks 3 of 2. So here this is the third row and second column. So which is the third row? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the fourth row, and the second column 0, 1, 2. So this is the second column, and this is the so I have given here 92. Do we have a number 92? Yes, we have value 92. So is marks 3 of 2? What is the actual value for marks 3 of 2? It's 0, 1, 2, 3. It's actually 99. Okay, so marks 3 of 2 is 99 and not 92. Fine. Okay, so that is a mistake there. So, and marks 5 of 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the row, and the column is 1 2 3 4, no, 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so the fifth row and the fourth column, the value is 87. Okay, so if we try to generalize in two-dimensional array, what do we write first? In first we write the data type, and then we give the array name, and after that we have the row size. We look at the table and we see what is the row size, and then we give the column size, and after that we give all these values. Fine. Okay, so what have you understood about arrays from these two examples? So multiple data items that have common characteristics. So here in this example, the first example, what we saw is that we have this marks. All these are integers. Fine. So in the second case, again we have integers. These are all integers. Fine. So that is what has been written in the first point. So there are multiple data items that have common characteristics and they share the same name. So in the second example, we actually had 30 different values. So in the usual cases, we would have had 30 separate variable names to store all of those, but here we have just one particular name for all those 30 values. And then data items can be characters, integers, floating point numbers, etc. So in the examples that we looked, the data items were of type integer, but it is not actually, arrays are not just limited to integers. It can be characters, integers, floating points, or any other data type. Okay, so that was just introduction to array, and in our classes we'll just work out some examples with array. Okay, thank you.